Ladies and gentlemen, the American Jury and Bulldog Nation, welcome to the Eric Deters Show. As always, we're sponsored by Deters Consulting, Parks Yoga. Check us out on all of our platforms. Well, Senator Mullen from Oklahoma took on Teamster President O'Brien, and they had some words. But you know what? Good old O'Brien, the bald-headed guy, he tweeted out some things basically threatening to kick Mullen's ass. So at the hearing, Senator Mullins said, hey, I'm down with it. I support Senator Mullen. I get so sick of wimpy little jackwagons hiding behind social media posts. And you know what, folks? Back in the day, our founding fathers who founded this country said that you could fight a duel to defend your honor. Duels are illegal. I'm somebody who thinks duels ought to be brought back. Why? For circumstances like this. There'd be a lot less popping off at the mouth if you had to back it up with your honor. McCarthy allegedly pushed Tim Burkett in the back, another Republican. McCarthy seems to claim it's incidental, that he really didn't push him. Burchett took off running after McCarthy. Who knows? You know what? The bottom line is McCarthy is a bitter man. All right, the black mob. Nobody's talking about it. They just did a Facebook Live. A black mob, you ought to watch the video, killed Jonathan Lewis outside of a school. Jonathan thought he was going to fight one guy, 15 guys. Just killed him. He made it to the hospital. I think he lived a couple days. It's sick. No one is talking about the race in this issue. Can you imagine if a mob of 15 white teenagers beat the hell out of Jonathan Lewis, black boy? Makes me sick, the double standards we have in this race, in this country. If we're going to be colorblind, let's be colorblind. Dana White had a major sponsor, UFC, call him up to say he wanted Trump's videos and pictures taken down. Dana White said, go F yourself. Again, good for Dana White. That's what we need more of in this country. Strong people that stand up to the crap. 72% of Americans will not fight for our country. Thus, some of the problems that we have in this country. However, I gotta say, it says a lot that that's the number. I wonder what the number would be if it was a just cause, just war, led by a just man. Maybe a little different. Joe Biden met with G. He's going to sign this contract, this agreement, where they're going to say no AI and military, blah, blah, blah. We are ahead of them in AI. Guess what? They're going to do it anyway. China does everything. You can't trust these guys. The capitulation of Joe Biden to G is unbelievable. Blackmail. Government shutdown was averted. Michael Johnson had a bill that passed. Guess what? Democrats jumped all over it. It tells you a lot, doesn't it? Colbert mocked Tim Scott invoking the name of God. I bet she didn't mock Megan Rapinoe saying that her getting an Achilles rupture during a game means there is no God. World War III is on the minds of many, many Americans, as it should be. It's on the minds of Jamie Dimon, J.P. Morgan. It's on the minds of lots of folks. Joe Biden's taking us right up to the edge. By the way, if it doesn't happen, it's merely going to be serendipity luck. See, there's no guidance to anything Joe Biden does. It is just happenstance. Happenstance. Ben Shapiro is going after Owens for what he perceives as her anti-Semitism. She's firing back with biblical quotes. It looks like Shapiro and Owens will be going to a divorce soon. Looks like she will not be on his network very much longer. I stand with Shapiro on this. FBI raids Jonathan Burma's home. This is one of the FBI whistleblowers. Unbelievable. Michael Johnson, Speaker of the House, has endorsed Donald Trump. Stock market went up. Why? Because they think inflation is cooling. Nikki Haley says that she would want everybody on social media have to use your real names. Mixed feelings about that. I hate people that hide behind it, but at the same time, You probably have a right to some anonymity. We'll see. You know what? I love the words they tag on these things. Joe Biden is going to add $6 billion to what he calls a climate resiliency program. Blech. State Farm got nailed for bad faith, not paying up on a claim like they should to one of their insureds. By the way, all these things, State Farm, like a good neighbor, bullshit. Nationwide is on your side, bullshit. Hamas said they were shooting crying children until they stopped crying. Yep, they want a ceasefire. Google, this was not known apparently, Google pays Apple 36% of all their revenue on Safari. Google searches. Wow. Migrant. There's apparently a migrant mobile app that has led to the direct release in this country of 300,000 immigrants. What? I want to get this app, see what it's all about. Yellen says it's important to have this great relationship with China. We're not decoupling, no kidding. Massachusetts town approved the flying in a public place of a Palestinian flag. Can't make it up. By the way, folks, I'm one of the few people that says it. Palestine and Hamas are one. They're one. Trump. He's winning in Michigan, and a Michigan judge says, nah, baby, nah, on the ballot. You believe it? Trump has to fight lawsuits to keep him on the ballot. Trump is beating Biden by a modeling company, including swinging 4 states that will allow him to win the Electoral College. Joe Biden called Kamala Harris president and then screwed up her name on top of that. Way to go, Joe. Trump's sister, he finally spoke out, said it made him sad that she led a nice, peaceful life until he ran for president. Trump is leading in Arizona. And a pro-Israel rally in Washington, D.C. yesterday, 300,000 people. Good for them. This is the Bulldog. Every dog has their day. Have a great day. Ladies and gentlemen, the American cheering Bulldog Nation, welcome to the Eric Deters Show. As always, we're sponsored by Deters Consulting, Parks Yoga. East Price Hill, another shooting. Another shooting. Yeah. Unbelievable. It never stops. Shootings. In local news, Northern Kentucky Moms for Liberty. My good friends Karen Strayer and Myrna Eads have been removed as Moms of Liberty leadership because apparently they took a picture with somebody from the Proud Boys. Unbelievable. I support Karen and I support Myrna. Taylor Swift turkeys. Everybody's making their turkey a Taylor Swiftie. Of course, the young people are doing this. Publix is coming to Independence. It's a Tobin property, corner of Harrison, Madison Pike. We throw a rock at it from here. John Schickel, the Kentucky State Senator from Boone County, is going to retire, not run for re-election. He served as the Boone County jailer, Boone County sheriff, federal marshal, state senator. He's had an illustrious political career. He's a good guy. In Kentucky news, Jacqueline Johnson was sentenced to 30 days in jail and fined $250 for her role in her father's cockfighting in Laurel County. Hal Rogers, he's 82, 83, 84. Actually, I think he's 86. Running for re-election to Congress again. Unbelievable. A body was found in a ditch in Jackson County, hasn't been identified yet. Attorney General Coleman has named as his executive liaison transition team member Will Schroeder. Will Schroeder's a good guy, but guess what? Will Schroeder's of counsel at Densmore and Scholl, Cincinnati's largest law firm, one of Kentucky's largest law firm. This is what I'm talking about, folks. The large law firms, I rail on it all the time. The large law firms are going to control the Attorney General's office. Just the way it is. The other guy, Turner, is also connected to the Densmore Scholl. Why Cameron lost? Joe Zonka, the Courier-Journal political writer, writes the story about what happened with it. And he doesn't say one word in his article about the disavowalment of the Trump endorsement, how Cameron did not make peace with everybody else on the Republican ticket. He didn't make peace with Kraft, Quarles, or me. I mean, it cracks me up. These are political journalists, and they completely missed the boat. They did point out that the abortion issue killed him. All right, in Ohio arrested 11 in an international drug trafficking deal. This is up near Cleveland. 11 have been arrested. Gun violence in children. Oh, really? You're going to take that up? Going to name some committees and do some more committees? Makes me sick. Tuscarawas Valley Schools is the school and band members that were affected in this I-70 West crash. Semi-tractor trailer, charter school bus, everything. 6 killed. I know 2 chaperones, an adult, and the 3 kids were named as well. Sad, sad day. Terrible collision. State Senator Naraja Antani is going to run for Winstrup's seat. Maybe he needs to eat a few less political dinners. Darby Bodie and Lakota battle with Isaac Oddie continues. First District Court of Appeals dismissed her appeal, and he's filed a motion saying she violated the contact thing. Give me a break. University in Walnut Hills has been evicted. Ever heard of a university being evicted? Me neither. And Connie Pillage is going to take on Hamilton County Prosecutor Melissa Powers. I just want you to know that I've already endorsed and supporting Melissa Powers. She's top-notch. She's a Republican. She's a woman. She's smart. By the way, she's not all partisan either. She's worked hard with the vets. Pillage won't have the money. I made the mistake before that I'm not going to repeat. I made the mistake of endorsing Fanon Rucker over my Joe Deters, once former friend, and I regret it. I'm not going to make the mistake again. Democrats in law enforcement only care about one race. That's a fact. That is a fact. Hamilton County, you need a good, strong, fair-handed prosecutor who's law and order, and that's Melissa Powers. Connie Pillage is not going to be law and order. This is the Bulldog. Every dog has their day. Have a great day.
Hello, it's 15th of November, Wednesday. You're watching Eric Deters World News, the latest headlines. 7 members of a paedophile gang who are posed as witches and wizards have been found guilty of running a monstrous child sex abuse ring in Glasgow, Scotland, in what the NSPCC called one of the worst cases in recent decades. 11 alleged members of a paedophile gang faced a string of charges against 3 children. 7 members were found guilty of sexual assault, rape by a jury at Glasgow High Court yesterday. Iceland volcano latest updates as smoke rises from the ground on an Icelandic peninsula, and thousands of residents of Grindavik are evacuated with a warning from scientists that everything points to a volcanic eruption in the coming days. Red alerts have been issued for almost 3,000 towns and cities across Brazil, which has been experiencing an heat wave. Records have been broken in areas including the city Rio de Janeiro, where temperatures reached as high as 126 degrees. More than 100 million people have been affected by the heat, which is expected to last until at least Friday. And President Xi Jinping has arrived on his first visit to the United States since 2017. The leaders of the world's 2 largest economies will hold one-on-one talks in San Francisco later today. That's the latest headlines from the team and I. Until tomorrow, cheerio.
Ladies and gentlemen of the American Jerry Bulldog Nation, welcome to Sports Without Boundaries. I got some good stuff to discuss with you. First up, the Cincinnati Bengals. Tomorrow night, big game, big game. Bengals versus the Ravens. Are you going to watch it? I am going to watch it. Meanwhile, Hendrickson was at practice with his bad knee and all. He is a warrior. He's obviously trying to give it a go. It looks like Hubbard, Higgins, and Hendrickson, though, are going to be out. And what did Joe Burrow say about tomorrow night? He says, it's a big game. Doesn't like stating the obvious, Joe, but that's why we love you, Joe Cool. It is a big game. They need to win that. They need to figure out a way to win the game. I say you go Bill Belichick on him. You play crazy. Put 2 safeties up on those D end spots to try to out-juke them. You got to be creative on defense. Apparently, they're working on their stop-run defense. You think? Sonny Gray, formerly of the Cincinnati Reds, then with the Milwaukee Brewers. Not the Milwaukee Brewers. Yeah, the Milwaukee Brewers. He apparently wants to come back to Cincinnati. You ready for this, Josh? He's one of 6 players yesterday that rejected a $23 million a year offer sheet. I say, nah, baby, nah. The Reds completed their 40-man roster by adding 3 recruits that they've got down below, so they got a 40-man roster entering this season. And, of course, that gets pared down after spring training. I want to talk a little bit about the Kansas City UK basketball game last night. Kansas beat Kentucky 89-84. Kentucky's 3 7-footers were on the bench, one waiting for the NCAA, the other 2 due to injuries. And you can't make this up. Dickinson, their big star, or Hankinson, their big star, guess what he does? Or Dickerson. Is it Dickerson? Dickerson. It's Dickerson. Scores 27 points, 21 rebounds. So Calipari is a built-in excuse. He can usually say, well, I didn't have any big guys. Check out the box score. Check out the box score. Wagner and Edwards, the 2 bluest of blue chips recruits, played nearly the whole game. They combined for 3 points. Meanwhile, Dillingham, who made 3 threes in a row, Shepard, who made two threes in a row in the first half, sparked the comeback and the lead. What's he do? He sits them. Wagner and Edwards played twice as much as Shepard and Dillingham, who balled. This is what Calipari does. His bluest of blue chips, special treatment. They go to the NBA. Everybody else transfers, just like last year. So Dillingham and Shepard seem to be the latest mistreated players by Calipari. He can recruit. He cannot coach a game. And when he claims it's meritocracy, it's bullshit. I'm so damn mad. We could have won the game. Dillingham and Shepard, 15, 16 minutes playing time. The others, 30 minutes.
Big win if they had won that.
They should have won it. Yeah. Calipari had a built-in excuse to lose, so he didn't play to freaking win. He played to mess with Dillingham and Shepard's psyche. I hate John Calipari. Is he a funny Italian jokester? Yeah, he's funny, charming. I can't stand the guy. He will blow this again. That's what he does. Duke, 74, Michigan, 65 in the game before this in the State Farm Classic. I tell you right now, Duke and Michigan State both look really good. Matt Petgrave has been arrested for manslaughter in the death of Adam Johnson. This is the hockey tragedy. And they got a standing ovation for 20 minutes. He wasn't on the ice when his old team played last night in support. I'm telling you right now, this smells to high heaven. And I think I brought this up myself. I think it's time for neck guards. All right, Sticky Holder, Will Lutz of the Denver Broncos, taking some heat. He had apparently some stickies that they noticed. You watch, there'll be no stickies allowed anymore. A court gave Pac-12 the control over to Washington State and Oregon State, who are the 2 teams sticking around that haven't bolted. College top 10, Georgia jumped Ohio State, Florida State, and Michigan. They all stay in the top 4. Right underneath that is Washington and Oregon. And then after that, you've got Texas and Alabama. Bama beats Georgia in the SEC championship. They'll be in. LeBron gifted a pair of shoes and Fruity Pebbles to Jamar Chase. I didn't know this, but Fruity Pebbles is LeBron James's favorite cereal, and it made Jamar happy. Ketchup apparently is a power food, along with these other foods like athletes, like triathletes. But Heinz is now pushing ketchup to be a power food. We're going to start having ketchup drinks. DeMar Hamlin made his first tackle on Monday night. Good for him. He got in the game. Van Der Esch the Dallas Cowboys linebacker's career might be over due to his neck injury. It's the second time that he's injured it. Pat Murphy, the bench coach of the Milwaukee Brewers, has been elevated to their full-time manager. C.J. Stroud, after he beat the Bengals, invoked God. Megan Rapinoe said God doesn't exist because she got hurt. Little contrast there. Ken Dorsey's out as the offensive coordinator for the Buffalo Bills. He went bonkers in the booth the other night. Can you blame him? He probably is not very happy about Allen. You know, Allen got him fired. These players don't get fired. Coaches get fired. Peter Seidler, the 63-year-old owner and chairman of the San Diego Padres, died, apparently unexpectedly. He's only 63 years old. Bill Walton says his life's greatest regret is he didn't get an NBA team to San Diego. Draymond Green and Gobert went at it, and Draymond had him in a headlock. Go Draymond. Rudy Gobert goes down in a chokehold. A lot of people were ejected from the game. Orioles manager Hyde, they were the winningest record in American League, and Marlon Schumacher were the top managers of the year. I say David Bell should have been. This is the Bulldog. Every dog has their day. Have a great day. Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury and Bulldog Nation, welcome to Pop Culture, where we have fun every single day. Will Smith allegedly was walked in on by somebody on a set that he was getting it on with Dwayne Martin. He was getting jiggity with it. Remember that song, Will? Get jiggity with it? He apparently was getting jiggity with Dwayne Martin. Now, we've heard all these crazy, weird sex stuff about Jada Pinkett. Are they bisexual? Are they swingers? All these things. Well, Will Smith said that is not true. Is there anybody who's had a worse year than Will Smith? My gosh, from the slap to his wife problems, now he's been accused of getting jiggity with Dwayne Martin. All right, Cosby's and Camille apparently are broke and they're struggling. She doesn't want to get rid of the staff. Now, I know none of you are sympathetic to the Cosbys. I'm not either, but I want to use this as yet another example of what I talk about all the time about lawyers. You're Bill Cosby. You're charged with a crime. Can you imagine how bad he got raped by his lawyers? All that, just think of the. I would like to know, because if you're like nearly a billionaire and you got $100 million and you don't anymore, that went all the lawyers. Lawyers are the scourge of this country, folks. They don't give a damn about their clients. It's about the money. Money, 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 money. And they take advantage of celebrities like, you know what? Donald Trump announced he has $100 million in legal bills. What? None of his cases, except the one now, just started going to trial. They rape you. I'm talking on every level. Lawyers rape people. All right, Matthew Perry, the death certificate, it's pending, and they're waiting for a toxicology and everything else. Latest reports, a former girlfriend said he liked to do drugs in the hot tub. That's where he was found. Is there any doubt that we're going to find that he fell off the wagon? Yeah. A grown man just doesn't drown in a hot tub. Barbara Streisand, and I'm going to have fun with this, old Babs, says that she cannot live in the United States, you know how these people say this, if Donald Trump's reelected president. Now, they always say this crap, but then they never actually freaking leave. Now, compare that attitude to people like me, who hate Joe Biden's ass. I ain't going to leave the United States to make Joe Biden happy. I'm not going to leave. These weak, Karen, woke yucks talk about leaving the United States. Well, all of us who hate Joe Biden aren't going to leave because of Joe Biden. We're like, let's get rid of Joe Biden. Right. See the mindset? That mindset permeates everything a Barbara Streisand does. And by the way, Barbara, in your big memoir where you're telling all about sex, I guarantee the only people that had sex with you wanted to have sex with you because you're Barbara Streisand, not because you're some babe. You never were. So self-absorbed. Barbara. Taylor Swift turkeys. Apparently all the turkey drawing contests like Frisch's and everybody else, the most everybody's turning them into Taylor Swift turkeys. To each their own. Glenn Powell. All right. This guy was one of the Top Gun pilots, in Maverick. And he's doing a romantic comedy with Sydney Sweeney from Euphoria. And they're both apparently got other relationships, but they're getting accused. All I got to say, Jamie, Josh, if you were Glenn Powell and an opportunity to partake and you were otherwise single, would you not partake? Jamie's willing to admit it. Josh isn't. His wife's watching. All right, Queen Elizabeth. This was wild. I decided to go with this in pop culture. I mean, she's dead. But they say that she was so ugly at the end. People could not look at her, including she had lost all her teeth except one or two because she ate too much sugar. And the face that she had, that white face, they use like shells and whatnot. It had lead in it that they said they think they slowly lead poisoned her, that she was out of her freaking mind. That's tough to look at, isn't it? The Virgin Queen. You look like that, you're going to be a Virgin Queen. All right, Harry and Meghan apparently are having troubles over where to celebrate Christmas. He'd like to go back home to celebrate Christmas, and she likes to stay here, and where they're going to go. God, I can't stand these two people. Right. You know what? He could be redeemed. Like, if Harry went back to the Royals, I think he could go back being a normal freaking person. Meghan is unredeemable. Right. She's a little wench that got her hooks into Prince Harry. And they know. Can you imagine these conversations? The humiliation of them not working out. So they're struggling with that. It's like, oh my God, if we don't make it, da-da-da-da-da. Except, and that's even worse for him, except for her, she's thinking, alimony. I bore 2 children to you. I'm set for life. This is the Bulldog. Every dog has their day. Have a great day.